Here we go. So again, as promised, an interview with John McKillop, our Chief Revenue Officer. My name is John Johnson. Just to give you a little bit of background on myself, for those who don't know me already, if you're a prospect listening in or a new member or whatever, I've been an entrepreneur for the last 25 years. I've been in consulting. I've been a sales trainer. I've trained a lot of salespeople from different industries, from direct sales to just all sorts of medical to appraising to you name it. I've pretty much trained it. So I've been around a long time in the world of sales. Direct sales, I've been in direct sales for now about 3 years, and I've just absolutely fell in love with rNetwork. I can tell you before that, I grew up in Utah, kind of, they call it the Mecca of direct sales. So I've got a lot of close friends, family, people I've known for years and years that have been in this industry, and some that I know that have done extremely well. And so it's always kind of been in the back of my mind. And when rNetwork, when I saw the plan behind this, and I saw how we had the ability to help a lot of people, not just the cream of the crop, that's what really attracted me to rNetwork. And so I'm really excited to be here. So I've got some questions lined up for John tonight, kind of put him on the spot a little bit. So sorry about that, sir. But just 6 or 7 questions we want to go through and kind of introduce. And I want you guys to be able to see rNetwork in a little different way tonight, just a little kind of deeper, and kind of this, what it really means to you and to everybody, so you can see just for yourselves how unique this really is. Everybody, I know when you're in sales, you hear people say, oh, this is great, this is better than anything else, it's the best thing ever, it's unique. And we just hear that, and we've heard it so many times, we're thinking, okay, whatever, it's just like anything else. rNetwork is unique, and I hope that tonight's call will really help you see just how different rNetwork really is. So John, my first question for you, I'm looking at your bio over here, and this is the bio I'm reading here. Over 30 years in this industry, top earner in multiple companies. You've reached the pinnacle of success in this company, or in this industry, numerous times in the field and in corporate. And I know you were looking at rNetwork from the outside, from an outsider, for about 6 or 7 months. So John, my question to you, my first question is, what was it about rNetwork that finally helped you make the decision, you know what, it's time for me not to just get involved, but to accept the role of Chief Revenue Officer?
Hey, can you hear me, John?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, so before I answer that, let me just kind of give just a kind of a little background about myself, if I may, if that'd be all right.
Yes.
Number one, it's really a pleasure to be here with each one of you this evening, and thank you very much for giving up your time. We've got people here on the call. I saw from Sweden, someone just said aloha, so I'm assuming you're from the beautiful islands of Hawaii there, and all over the States. And in the last couple of days, on different calls I've been on with John, we've been on the phone with people in Asia, in Africa, some other people. I've been on the phone with people in Mexico, Central America, South America. This is a company that is on the move, and that we're very serious about what we're doing. I certainly appreciate the kind words when you said, you've got my resume or my CV in front of you. That's just a reflection of the wonderful people I've had an opportunity to work with. I have no God-given talents. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play basketball real well. I used to think I was a really good athlete till I got to college, and I wanted to play football, American football. And I got out there, and I thought I was pretty big when I was in high school, and kind of devoted myself to health and lifting weights. And I got to college, and there were running backs bigger than I was, and I quickly figured out that football was not going to be in my future career. And I just really, tried to apply myself. I may not be the first one that's going to make that turn around the corner. I may not be that fastest one in a sprint, but I will eventually get the ball across the goal line. I'll score a goal. I'll make you proud. I carry the team on my back. I'll do whatever I need to be able to stand out and do what I need to support the team. Nobody's going to get up earlier than me. No one's going to go to bed later than me. And I want to learn from each one of you, and together we're going to get to the top of the mountain. So the biggest thing I think that I bring to the company is this spirit to serve. I love people. I love working with people, and I'm here to devote myself And I love it that, one of the things to be involved in our network corporately is that you must have a spirit to serve. We don't care how talented you are. We don't care what your background is, what you've done. If you don't have a spirit to serve, you don't have a ticket to entry into the company itself, because we are devoted to each one of you. We're devoted to our vision. We're devoted to the mission that we have. And we want to make you proud. And, because we have a direction that we want to go in, and you bought into that direction, and that carries a lot of responsibility. And the last thing I ever want to do is to let any one of you down, let my family down, or anybody here. And so we're devoted into the direction of what we're doing and what's happening. And my objective now tonight is, getting here with John. And, John's just such an amazing individual. He's always reaching out. He's always, he in the embetterment of others. We're on calls with different teams that he has around the world, around the United States. And he's just trying to put his team in that right place at that right time so that they can be successful. He's a wonderful leader. He wants to replace himself. He doesn't want to have to be the guy on stage or the person putting all these calls together. He carries no ego, like I know that a lot of you don't either. You just want that formula. What's that right company at that right place at that right time, and a little bit of luck, and you're involved in the company that slingshots and hockey sticks and explodes. And we all know that the rewards for being involved in a newer company are tremendous. It could be a little more difficult, it could be a little more agitating sometimes, but the rewards are significantly greater for being involved earlier in a startup like us. Even though we launched in February. I love what Trent Walker says in that, our CEO, he goes, John opened 15 years, we still consider ourselves a startup. That means we're always trying to make things better. We're always trying to enhance. We're not becoming complacent. We're always trying to do bigger, better, faster things. And so, he comes with that tremendous cadence about him, that military background, from a perspective of, make the plan, work the plan, very regimented. It's a cadence. We're very strategic in what we do. We're very plan directed. We do everything in 2-week sprints to put things out. Trent has sat in his seat now as CEO for 100 days. And I've been looking at this company since back in November, as you said, John. And when I was looking at this company, I saw tremendous promise. I really loved what was going on. And I had the good fortune, because I had kind of some inside information. I had 2 friends of mine sat on the board of directors of this company, and a third sat on the board of advisors. So I knew the inner workings of the company. I knew what was going on. I knew what was happening, and seeing and all of those wonderful things. And I flew into Utah at the end of November and spent an entire day with Richard Smith. And if any of you know Richard, you know how dynamic he is, and some of the things that he's done. We talk about successes that people have had. I'd love to have just a piece of the success that he's done. He started companies that have had over 1 million customers in it. And he's been successful time after time after time again. And he's one of the 5 founders of this company. He's got a tremendous background, and we're fortunate to have him. And they all chose to, have Trent Walker about 100 days ago sit in as CEO and really mold this company and really put it together. And Trent's moved some people around a little bit. Very, very talented people in the company, but sometimes they're on the wrong seat of the bus, and move those around a little bit, and really made a commitment to the company to move forward, becoming very regimented in what we're doing. And, if you make a promise and make a commitment, you need to follow through. And I think in the early days of this company, there were some promises that were put out there. Like in any startup, a company kind of becomes overzealous and wants to do things ahead of where they're able to, because they want to keep everybody happy. And that's helped. And I think that's also been a detriment. And we need to be a company that what happens is that when we say something, we actually go do it. And there's a regiment now that you see. There's that regiment where, we've introduced Financial Academy and TV.fit. You're going to see another introduction next week. We'll do that announcement probably tomorrow. We're keeping the heat on. We're bringing another product announcement out that we're going to announce next week. We've got another one probably about 2 weeks right after that I think is really going to be, I know it's going to be exciting. And between now and the end of November, there's about 5 or 6 other things that are already on the docket, on the calendar, things that we're going to be introducing. So we've got this cadence now that we're moving forward. And when you look at our vision, it's going to be no longer, well, prove to me that the vision of the company, that you're actually applying yourself and that you're making that vision a reality. And whether it's 2 weeks ago, it's now, or it's 2 weeks from now, or a month, however long it takes you, you're going to see the vision come into play, because we've made the plan, we're executing against that plan, and we're moving aggressively forward. And there's lots of times where I just wish I could close my eyes, open them up again in January, because we are a very different company going into the new part of the year than a company that we have ever been. And my belief is that we are something new, something different. We're that new darling of the industry as these final pieces come into play, and then we just replicate what we've done here in the States all over the globe. So I saw something very special, John. I saw the founders. I saw their backgrounds, what they've done, their commitment. I didn't see any ego whatsoever. I'm not into corporate politics. I'm not into egos or any one of those things. I want to work with a team that is focused, that is committed. And after being here, because I've been with the company now for 8 weeks, John, and it seems like I've been here a lot longer, because I've developed some tremendous relationships with a lot of people. But I quickly got back to the team and said, you know, one of the things that I see so quickly here in the field is I've never seen a company that is so new, that is so young like rNetwork, yet that has so many leaders, so many people that have the talent set to be able to grow and lead a team from small to big. And I don't see any egos out there. I see people. Everybody wants to be able to go play team, and you know, we're gonna go focus forward, and we know what we're gonna do, and we're gonna be successful with it.
No, that's amazing. I love that. And you mentioned Trent Walker a few times, so I don't even need to ask you a question too. What do you think about Trent Walker? I think all of us know how amazing he is, and all of his years at Google and his consulting with Facebook and other banks, and just one of the leading fintech experts in the country right now. And the team, the executives behind him. One question I wanted to ask, because a lot of times people don't think about this. Well, you and I have been in business a long time. We've had a lot of different successes in our lives and things of that sort. And one thing that has always drawn me to a business, one thing I look at all the time is, can the consumer, not just a little guy, not just the member, but can the consumer win? And when I look at the different backgrounds of the executives in our network, such as Trent and some of the others, I see a few of them that have had direct sales backgrounds, and then I see a few of them that have had backgrounds that had nothing to do with direct sales. But when you research these individuals, you see that they've brought multiple products to different industries, and they've enhanced these products, and they've basically made them so well and so good. For example, with Trent and Google Pay and things that he's done in the past. And I look at that, because one word that always comes into mind when you're looking at direct sales or any company is duplication. And if you can have value for your customer and bring that value with executives that have all of these different backgrounds, to me, it really screams success. It screams a real opportunity. So I want you to kind of touch on that and talk about rNetwork's emphasis on the value-driven products, such as the last two products that were just rolled out, and how they're going to continue to enhance the $50 a month ask and even potentially go from there.
Yeah, so there's a kind of there's a philosophy here. There are three kinds of products, if I can kind of stage them in three categories. There are products and services that we'll be introducing that are global, meaning they have acceptance, they have desire, there's need, there's want, desire in most parts around the globe. There's also going to be products, for example, that we will introduce that will be very regionally accepted, but not globally. For example, in Europe, we may introduce some product or service that is wonderful for many parts of the European continent, but just don't have the need or the desire or the focus of other places around the world. And then, of course, we have products that are country specific. So, for example, later this week, the latest is Monday, but it may even be Friday, I'm announcing the date that we are launching India. India is coming online. I'm going to give that date very, very soon here. And when India opens, that's an example of we're introducing multiple products that when India opens, is product that is for country-specific India, meaning there's need, there's value, there's desire to have it. It fits something perfectly that there is a tremendous need, but that product and or service is something that we wouldn't be introducing that same thing anywhere in Europe or Africa or Australia or here in the States, for example, right? So we're going to be introducing products that are global, that are regional, or that are country specific. Yeah, so as we open up new countries, we're going to get very specific in the kinds of products and services that are good for those particular countries. The focus is, right now is we have this $50 a month, this charter member product, and we're aggressively adding to it. We just added TV.fit to it. We launched Financial Academy. We're introducing another product next week. There's a couple of products that are right around the corner. They're already being baked right now and programmed to get ready to be done, to be launched. Those are also moving directly into the $50 product. Our objective is to make that so robust. When you look at that charter member product at $50, it's a no-brainer. It just exudes value right out of it, what you're going to be able to earn for $50. And we're going to continue to replicate that around the globe, as well as having products that you can pick and choose. There may be a couple products that we introduce, here in the States between now and the end of the year that are not part of that $50 product. But for something that is less expensive than the Financial Academy, because that's a very expensive program and platform, and there's some huge value there that I want to talk about in just a little bit if we can get to it, John. But that means value, meaning if something is going to cost you $20, but you're going to save $50 or $100 a month, it's a no-brainer. And the whole objective is that we want to introduce products or services that if you're a charter member, it is a lot less than what you would find something similar out there. If you're a fan, we're going to make it available for you that you can buy it less than what's available out there, but not as steep of a discount as a charter member. And that's the focus. So we're going to talk about the fans, and we've got some announcements on how they will interact with you and the compensation plan in the next 3 or 4 weeks on a pretty significant announcement that how the fans are really going to begin to add value to what we're doing. We talk about stacking and in the comp plan and all of that. And so we're going to hit that really hard and show the value proposition with that and put some enhancements out there that I think you'll be quite excited about. And then probably about 6 or 7 weeks after that, there's something that is just going to flat blow your mind in the compensation plan that we're baking right now. We found a way to give you more money for doing the same thing. Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody can show me how I can earn more money for doing the same thing, don't take anything away, just pay me more, I'm going to like that. And we're going to show you that. So it's our commitment. I love where Trent comes from, because as we're constantly looking at our margins and where we're at and what we're doing, and we know what we need to be able to make from a margin to pay from an overhead perspective and be able to go pay for the business. And Trent has always said, if I'm making more money than I need, I'm going to find a way to go redirect that back into the field. I don't know about you, but I've never been involved in a company where the commitment level is, this is all I want to make. And if there's anything more, I'm going to go find a way to go pay it into the field. That's what you're going to see probably in about 75 days on that big announcement that I'm talking about. That is really, really cool. And we're a company that is focused on you and your success and your betterment. And we're going to continue to find ways to be able to buy things cheaper, have a greater margin, pay you more money for doing the same thing, as well as to add in the TBS and other components. But certainly the backgrounds of those people, when you look at the 5 founders, 4 of them had been involved in direct sales before in some kind of a degree. Trent had never been involved in direct sales before, but his background in leading of teams and his cadence is really, really strong. 3 of the founders have been involved corporately a little bit, and just 2 of them really have spent a lot of time on the direct sales side. Every single one of the founders have been very successful in their own right, in their own niches, in their own talent sets. And, you've heard that term, sometimes 1 + 1 = 3, right? Well, I'm here to share with you kind of the 5 of them equals like 8, or because the synergism and what's there and what they're doing and their leadership and how they're putting this company together is really, really exciting. And I'm so they have added me into that with a lot of my background, 32 years in the direct sales arena. I probably spent more time, as some of you maybe heard me say, I spent more time out of the U.S. than I have in the U.S. in the last 10 or 12 years. Been to 60 or 70 different countries, opened up many countries around the globe from a direct sales perspective. I've lived internationally, and I really feel like that today, everything that I've done in my entire business career has set me up to be here right now with this company, to be part of this tremendous movement, building of this community as we expand this club. And John, as I'm saying all these things, I'm kind of answering your question, and I'm kind of all over the board itself. Maybe I'm kind of being a politician, where I take an answer and I really say what I want to be able to say and kind of answer your question too a little bit. So I'm going to apologize. I'm being so talkative, but I'm just so doggone excited, bud.
No, I'm excited as well. And one thing I want to kind of touch on, just kind of piggyback on some of the things you've said. One thing in this industry that I've seen for many years, and I was always the outsider looking in. I can't tell you how many times I received that phone call or that email or whatever it may be, or somebody even knocking on my door saying, John, you got to look at this. You're in sales. You'd be so good at this, and you would love this. You'd absolutely love. I get that every single day. And I still get it, even though I tell them, hey, I'm a master member of rNetwork. I can't promote anything else. I won't. I don't want to. I love where I'm at. And I still get those calls. But I've been receiving those calls for the last 20 years. And one thing that was really a constant that I kept seeing, and this is what makes this so unique, is I would see this product, this juice or this pill or whatever it may be, and they'll say, all right, this is what you're going to sell it for. This is what our ask is. It's $200 a month for 4 bottles or whatever it is. And I would always go down and I would go see something very similar. I've always, especially the juice, I've always, like you, I've been in health and fitness for years and years and years. And so I would always be able to find something just as good, if not better, for a fourth of the cost, sometimes a fifth of the cost. And to me, I kept thinking to myself, gosh, you've got to be an amazing salesperson to continue momentum in a company like this. And with rNetwork, you hit it right on the head. If I'm a consumer and I pay $50 a month, and right now I look at what we currently have, I look at TV.fit, and I look at our mall, and I look at, our auto and our mobile and everything else that we already have. And I kind of break things down, our travel and all of that stuff. And knowing it's not even the end of the rope, I mean, this is the beginning of it. And I'm thinking, my gosh, I'm stretching that $50 so much. So as a consumer, it basically changes this dynamic. And I was able to see that they're kind of, when Trent says we're flipping the industry on its head, we really are flipping the industry on its head, because what we're doing is we're taking an old antiquated model and we're looking at it, we're saying, wait a minute, give more value to the end consumer. So then we can use analogies, such as one I love to use on a lot of my calls. I'll say, hey, why do you pay for Amazon Prime? Because you receive an immediate benefit. Why do you pay for your Costco membership? Because you see an immediate benefit. Why do you pay for your gym membership? Myself, I love it because I can go exercise, receive an immediate benefit. All we're asking people to do is see that immediate benefit, share it with other people, and instead of us paying you a one-time finder's fee or referral fee, we say, wait a minute, you can receive an income off of everybody you refer, people they refer, and not just off of that, anytime somebody participates in the marketplace. So if I refer somebody to Amazon Prime in this analogy, he or she purchases an item through Amazon, I receive a commission on that. And furthermore, I did e-commerce for years and for a while. And I remember spending all this money on marketing, and I had to bring products in. And I had to find all these different distributors, and I had to drop ship, and I had to do all of this stuff. And I was competing against all of these huge companies that had $1 million+ marketing budgets. And right now I look at our mall and I look at a lot of the things, even outside of the mall, and I'm thinking, my goodness, every time somebody participates in this marketplace, I get paid. I have zero overhead. I don't have to worry about shipping. I don't have to pay for drop shipping. I don't have to pay any of that stuff, but I'm getting a piece of everything, even in these early stages. And I take that model and I compare it to anything I've seen in this industry before. And I look at it and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I don't understand how, if somebody really fully saw what our network was and what it is and what it's going to be, I would find it very difficult to believe somebody would say, no, it's not for me. Because I just, the businesses I've done in the past, the consulting and things, and that's what attracted me to this business is I have people in my organization right now that have never had success in this industry, never, that have had success even in the early stages of our network before even the next big announcement and the next big one and the next big one. And that to me is what really excites me about this, because finally, I believe for the first time in many years, somebody's created a direct marketing company. What I believe this is what direct marketing should have looked like 20 years ago. But because when you look at it and you think, well, I can make money on referrals and things of that sort, but there's so many variables that go into this. And when you knock down those obstacles, the overpriced product and things of that sort, and you just flood value to the consumer, you've changed everything. And what you've done is you've created such a duplicatable model and system that anybody can basically plug in, listen, and then they get to learn from some of the top leaders in the industry at the same time. Success is right here for everybody to just take a hold of if they decide to do it. So I just want to kind of get your thoughts on how our network differs from some of the companies that you may have been involved in the past. And if you agree or disagree, our network has something for everyone, from the big builder to the novice to the beginner.
Yeah. So, you bring up some really good points. And, certainly in these earlier days when you hear Trent or you hear others in the company talking about this vision, and the vision is, we want to help you save, we want to help you earn, and we want to help you develop a passive income through financial vehicles. And the first thing we say is we want to show you a way, value and how you can save. And it's to understand that vision. And, a month ago, we had 2 less products than we have today. A month from now, we're going to have probably 2 or 3 more products than we have today. It's just this continuing addition. And if you buy into the vision and you see what's happening, you want to position yourself ahead of that curve, because you know what it's going to go turn into, because now you really begin to see it heat up, right? And you want to position yourself ahead of that curve. Let's not ever forget, one of the products we sell is opportunity. We have an opportunity, and let's face it, nobody would be here today if there wasn't an opportunity attached to it, right? But many of us are here because even though there's an opportunity, we have now bought into, we see the savings and the value proposition, and that just gets better and better and better and better and better as time moves on. And so we're in the early days when the products maybe aren't quite as robust as they're going to be. We need to lean on the opportunity just a little bit more, because people need to understand that those things are coming. When you buy in the opportunity and you position in front of this curve and you begin to go build your network and build your business, and you're going to find some people that are going to say, you know what, I see it, I'm in. Other people are like, well, I'm not sure. It's like, great, go ahead, become a fan. There's some value out there, for you. You've got access to the mall and, a few other things that are out there. There's value to it. And then we're going to show you how to really add value, how those fans can get up into the other products that we're giving away to you over and above in that $50 package, that charter tip, as well as how they can purchase it, the Financial Academy for less than what other companies are selling that for out there. And this next product that you're going to see next week introduced, and you're buying into that. So it's just one component where we're going to continue to do more and more and more. Other companies are like, here's our nutritional product, just as an example. And I've been with nutritional companies and skincare and all those kinds of things. And you're always competing against the next guy or a gal that has something new, something better, something different, something unique. And you're always trying to, you really got to teach people how to be a salesperson. I got to sell you why my product, why my ingredients are more pure, are better, they're better for you, or all the backup and the testing, versus the reality is you're just black and white. This is what you pay. Here's what we have. Here's what you can save. And you make your own analysis of thumbs up or thumbs down, right? And it's easy. It's my objective. It's our objective. When we make this so robust, what if you were nothing more than an order taker. How easy would that be? You get involved, you show people huge value, they see it. Imagine a year from now how much more even robust this is going to be. And you're nothing more than an order taker. You show people want to get involved. Some people just, well, I'm not sure, I don't know. Great, bring them on board as a fan, because there's some of the services we have that's for free that they can go use. They can also buy up into the other products and services, and we're going to show you that in a couple weeks in a presentation. And they can sit by the lamp pole, and you're going to make that come around again, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to say, "You ready yet?" And we're going to show you how the company's going to drip on those fans and get them to buy up into future products and or services that we have, as well as drip on them, and they could choose to become charter members also with you and for you. So there's a lot of things that we have being programmed that we're doing right now, which is when I say we're a very different company. But this is really that right kind of a compensation plan. I've been involved in the stair-step breakaways and the unilevels and the binaries and all those plans. And when you look at the kind of products and services we have and what we're attempting to do, what we are doing out there from, earning and saving, right, is that when you create this comp plan that we have, this TBS, and where as you enroll people and other people continue to enroll people above you, and that becomes part of your TBS, you are never bypassed, you're never circumvented. There's not some volume that you didn't do and people move around you and you stop earning on them. They're forever more part of your group that you can earn income on. And it wasn't too long ago, just 3 weeks ago, when the most you could earn on a TBS was $2. Now with Financial Academy, now you can earn up to $6 on every single active charter member in your group. Now we're going to show you how to earn more money through the fans and some other ways that we're going to teach you. Figure this thing out. We're going to show you how the stacking works and what that does. What if every charter member and all the fans put together, what if they were worth, $7, $8, $9, or $10 each to each one of you, of every single active charter member in your group? And as your organization begins to fill up, there's some very magical things that will go on here, because there are some things that you're going to go see, and you can call me on it over the next 2.5 months. That is going to accelerate this thing at an increasing rate, and it's going to go fast and it's going to go hard. And because I've been in this industry and I know what it takes, and the final pieces are being put together to have this thing just scream. You've got a Ferrari, and we've been driving around in a nice Chrysler LeBaron and driving around, and we're comfortable and we're cruising around. We're going to flip this thing into a 6-speed Ferrari, and we're going to shift this thing into second gear. And we got 4 more gears to go, and we got the rest of the globe to go do. And I don't know how much involvement a lot of people here have had, but I'll share with you that it is truly magical that when you look at your printout and you see where you're earning money, and you're earning income from 12, 15, 18, 25 different countries around the world. You have no idea who these people are, but you sure love them. Your business has become diverse, and it expands and it grows. And those are the kinds of things that are going to happen because we're going to be very aggressive in the international market. So it's the comp plan, it's the kind of products, and how aggressive we're going to be internationally is what really, sets us apart, John.
No, and I love it. And speaking of international, you're right. I was on a call with you, 2 calls this week. So this is call number 3. You're spoiling me this week, John. You're giving me
I'm here for you, bud.
Extra time.
Spirit to serve.
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. And so, yeah. And with those countries, what I love right now, we're talking about a couple different countries. You just mentioned India. Keep your ears and eyes and everything open, guys, because the next couple of days, he's going to announce when India launches. So hopefully you caught that. Next week, another product launch. In the next 30 days, another 2 to 3 products launch. In the next 60 days, a couple more products. And think about this, and the swipes and all of that stuff we've talked about, from the bank, the swipes. 2020, I keep telling everyone, this is our year. The executive team has come together. We've got some incredible people, including John and many others on the team. We just brought Audra on for PR and marketing, and just her team is remarkable. And I'm seeing all of these dominoes fall into place. I've been with a lot of companies, a lot of startups in my career, from medical sales to collections to all sorts of different things I've done. And you guys have done in a year to year and a half where I see people in 2.5, 3 years out. And what I mean by that is just some of the executives coming in, you don't bring this kind of talent together this quickly unless you really do have something very special in front of you, because all of these people have other opportunities somewhere else. So to bring in a John McKillop and a Trent Walker and Audra and all of these other people coming in, they don't just accept any offer. It's got to be unique. It's got to be cutting edge. It's got to be special. And that's what I love about this. And so talking about international a little bit, I want to kind of piggyback on that as well. So right now, internationally, we've got the TV Fit, we've got the Art Academy, and we've got our travel. And I know there's going to be a lot more things. So we can start going into these other countries that we discussed earlier this week and others. And let's start creating some momentum, everybody, in these countries, wherever you're at right now. You know, I'm available to do calls for you and for your teams and John as well. And basically the Jon and John show, I don't know whatever you want to call it, but we're here, we're available to help you get your teams excited, answer their questions, do what we need to do, knowing we've already got a couple products to help them start with, build some momentum, and then we can go do what we did with India, put them into a pre-launch state, and then have people feet on the streets, bringing them local products that make sense for them. That's what I love about that. That juice you may be selling or that pill you may be selling, it may not make sense for everybody. It may make sense for a niche of people in this area or this region or that region. But what we're doing is we're customizing products, we're customizing a solution and a business plan for people in all of these different regions, starting from this country to that one. We see a little bit of momentum with products, and we continue to add products. You can kind of see what's happening here. This is a very exciting thing. So one last question I've got for you, John, and then we can kind of go back and forth for a few minutes. But why, in your opinion, will our network not only pass the test of time? You kind of already answered this, but you believe, and I know we both believe this, and a lot of people believe that this company will become the gold standard in this industry. And I want to kind of get your thoughts on what it means to become the gold standard and why you believe our network will be that gold standard.
Yeah. So, I when you say a gold standard, there's a lot of companies out there that are already kind of that gold standard. I think if we look, for example, at Amway, they've surpassed the test of time. Very quality, individuals. The granddaddy, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. There's many other countries that have developed great culture with their field and with their organizations, and they've got compensation plans that are really well developed that reward individuals. And you can go choose to sell that skincare or that juice or that water filter or something else, and they've done very well. A gold standard in my mind is a couple different things. It is, number one, it's about trust. I have been around, we've all been around where, in my mind, trust is that new global currency. It's no longer about, how much money is the company making or what it's doing. Those are all very important things. A healthy company is a healthy rep. A company's got to have enough income to continue to invest and expand and grow the infrastructure around the globe that is needed to support the organizations. But it starts with trust. It starts with culture. What is the culture of the company? Is it diverse? Is it something that's there for everybody? Does everybody feel like they're part of the community, right? Am I accepted? Is there relationships that are built within the organizations that you're involved in, and other people that are maybe cross line or up line or down line or into the company? Is it like a family kind of type atmosphere? Is it a high retention? Are people having success? Success is measured in a whole lot of different ways. I've been with companies where people really, they're spending or they're earning what they're spending, but they're there because of the people, and they love the relationships and going to events and things like that. Other people have this desire just to grow and to build and grow a very, very large organization. And everybody, success means something different to everybody, and that success can change over time. What you think is success today is different tomorrow, and is different even, the next day, and so on and so forth. But, that gold standard is setting your sights, committing to what you're doing, never wavering in that, being honest. And if you do something wrong, go out quickly and tell the field that we messed up or something's wrong, fall on the sword and move forward. Don't hide it. Don't step over it. Don't do something and be defensive about it or whatever. Accept it and move on, because, hey, we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes, but it's about being honest and open and having that relationship. The worst thing you want to do is someone in the field comes and asks you about something and you have no idea about it. You're surprised because you're a leader. You need to know in advance so you can answer that question to see what it is. And our commitment is, there's something happens, we're going to tell you about it. And we're going to be upfront. We're going to tell you about it quickly, and we're going to tell you how we're going to go fix it. And we're going to go move forward and move on from that, because we want to, be a company that is very transparent. I tell the leaders all the time, I've been on multiple calls this week with different leaders talking about different things and think tanking about stuff and saying, hey, we are all going to co-create. We're going to go put this together. I'm going to come back to you as a group, and we're going to talk about this, and we're going to say, yes, got it. And then we're going to initiate it. We're going to go forward. It's not something coming out of the ivory tower from Trent's office that tells us all what we're going to go do. Y'all got to buy into it. I got to buy into it. We got to go buy into it. And collectively in the community, we move forward because there's strength in numbers. So that's what we want to be able to go do. That's just kind of, just quickly, when you talk about the gold standard, John, that's kind of where my head is. And if we can do that and create a great culture and believe in one another and create that community and get to the top of the mountain together, we've got something really special, because we've got something that, we want to create then for our children's children.
No, absolutely. And I was kind of scrolling through the comments and read a couple of the questions and things of that sort. So I just want to kind of point on a couple of these items really quick. So again, India, next couple of days, you should hear an announcement about when that launch date is going to be. Perfect. Boom. Next week, another product. Next 30 days, a few more products. The bank, the swipes, all of that still 2020. I know.
So let me talk about the bank.
Yes,
Okay?
Go ahead.
So I know in the earlier days that, it was kind of this 1-2 punch, bank and rev card. And man, people were excited about those two things, and we're going to go dominate. We're going to go rule. We're going to do something that nobody else has ever done before. We're still going to go do those things. But the company, from a, banking and regulatory component, there were things kind of getting out of hand, in the field and what people were saying. So we had to back away from the bank. I saw somebody on here, they're saying, but the company bought 20 banks. We've not bought 20 banks. I'm not sure where that came from, but I will share with you that there are relationships that are in place today that we are moving on. And before the end of the year, you will see a debit card introduced from a bank that you recognize the name here in the States. That's a debit card that you're going to be able to use and swipe. And every time that swipe happens, there's a piece of that transaction that's going to be paid upline. And that these banks have relationships around the globe. So then as we go into the next year, we leverage those relationships from bank to bank. And then we're able to go into different countries and do the same thing on a debit card on a bank issued from that country, and do swipes again. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. That is in the works. That is happening right now. And you will see that through the end of, you're going to see that happen before the end of the year. And I'm not talking December even. I'm talking before that. Those things are going to become fruition. Those things are going to go happen. But we had to stop talking of, and so we're not going to have this card called a rev card that blinks and does all these different things, and a battery and antenna inside, and you can load other cards into. Because that turns into like a manufacturing nightmare. Something breaks, something happens, water spills on it, we got to replace it. What do? We don't want to be in the manufacturing ball game. These are debit cards issued by banks in different countries that you recognize the name, and that number is registered, and it goes. And there's many other things beyond the swipe that we're going to be able to do. So it doesn't just stop at the swipe. There's many, many, many other things. Also, John, there was on the corporate update call today, there were three things announced. Number one, we announced that the stock, to be able to, when you can become a P10, become 10 active wide, enroll your 10 to have 10 active wide, 1,000 shares of stock. That's been extended through midnight Mountain Standard Time, September 30th. So we've given a 2-month extension on that on purpose, because the company sees the value of being, how many people can out there in the company can we get to own 1,000 shares of stock when the company goes public? So we've extended that to include even more people. We were able to put more shares out there, put that out there. That's something that's very exciting. We also extended the promotion on the Financial Academy. The promotion, because Financial Academy sells for $125. We had a promotion for $100 only, and that promotion was ending today. We've extended that promotion for just over 2 weeks for everybody, and this includes France and Germany, because we introduced Financial Academy late. They were running on their own promotion. They're going to tie into this global promotion now, and that promotion for $100, you can get Financial Academy, and then you're grandfathered into that price at $100. And that extension has been extended through midnight Friday, August 14th, Mountain Standard Time. So and that information is coming out today. I think it came out today, or it's going out tomorrow, one of the two. And the third thing was the announcement that next week we will be doing a call for a new product introduction. So we have that happening as well. So those were 3 things that were introduced on the corporate call that happens every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on that corporate call.
No, absolutely, and I love it. And I'm kind of going through the questions as well. And so to clear up some of that confusion, before he came into corporate, there was something going on with potentially some community banks, and there were about 20 or so banks, and that actually got shut down because the relationships we have with larger banks that have more bandwidth, that have more ability to take us internationally, it was replaced with something much better. So that was kind of the confusion there. And so Trent, the executives he's brought in with some of the others that have these fintech, banking, finance backgrounds, those relationships have been brought to our network. Those relationships have actually enhanced what we're going to be able to do on that side of things. And so that's what I'm excited about. And that's why I told people I'm actually glad it was pushed out a little bit, because we're going to be able to do a lot more with it and offer more than just the swipes. We didn't want to just pay on only the swipes are awesome, don't get me wrong, but they're one piece. They're one cog in this machine and one spoke, I guess, on the wheel, if you will. And that's what I love about this, because I want to wrap this up because we're coming on the hour here. And our network, if I were to wrap this up, I'm looking at this participation marketplace, and I'm looking at every aspect. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. TV.fit just came out. I love fitness. That appealed to me. I've used it a couple times. I absolutely love it. I think the workouts are really cool. Now, that may not appeal to somebody else, but maybe they love to travel, or they love to dine, or they want the bank, whatever those products may be, and discounts here or discounts there. Something's going to appeal to somebody somewhere. That's what I love about our network, because it's just the variety of products and services and industries that we're taking on, and we're bringing all of those to you. And as our network grows, we're bringing more and more value to you every day. We're building this. This is really a community of like-minded people that love to save money, that love to earn money. And John mentioned a couple times, I want to make sure you guys all caught this. The $2, that's bare minimum. We know about stacking commissions. He just mentioned here shortly another major announcement where it may be north of that or whatever. And I will let corporate talk about that. I will let John talk about that when the time comes. We are at the baby stages of something so incredible. And that's why when we look at this, and a lot of the leaders have just, we're constantly being surprised with something else. And it's great, because I loved our network May 9th last year. I absolutely love it now, and I don't even know what it's going to look like this time next year. I have no idea. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like. But when you see this product and what he mentioned is just this this wheel is just turning and just product or conveyor belt. Here's a product, here's another one, another one, another one, another one. You're going to find something that appeals to you. You're going to find something that appeals to a lot of people. And I've been in business a long time too. I can say, well, I don't necessarily use this product. Well, guess what? Doesn't mean that maybe 20 million people don't. You know, there's a lot of products that you may not use that somebody else does. But again, in our network, you're not going to have to worry about that because you're going to be able to experience a product that you really love, because we're touching every single aspect of your spending life. And eventually we're going to get there. We're going to get to those products that appeal to you, and you're going to get very excited. That's the power of our network. It was to literally take this industry, flip it upside down. And Trent said in a call, and I'll let you wrap up with your final thoughts here, John, and then I'll end the call. But Trent said a couple of months ago, I don't know if we all heard or remember, this is going to be a full-out assault on this industry, finding this product, this one, this one, this one, this one, and offering this one for less, this one for less, paying commission up the TVS. All of those things are going on right now. All of those things are happening behind the scenes, and they'll just constantly roll these out and gain momentum up to the bank. And if you put yourself in front of this momentum and you position yourself and you start getting plugged in and understand what's really going on in this company, it is literally mind-numbing. It really is. And you can see that, wait a second, improvement, improvement, enhancement, enhancement. It's getting better and better and better as the weeks go on. And that's what you look for. I always say this, in year 2 of any company I look at year 1 as, all right, they're building a base, the foundation. Year 2, I like to see the company turning. I like to see improvements and enhancements being made. I'm seeing that happen all the time with our network. It's constantly happening. And as I learn more and more about what's going on, and I don't even know as much as John does, and I'm okay with that. I know enough. I know plenty enough to be as excited as I am. I can't even imagine what you're feeling right now, John, with what you know. But it's just important to focus and plug in and see, because this is your company too. Your $50 a month goes towards building this company. Your commitment, your sharing, everything you do is seen by the company, it's appreciated by the company, and it makes a difference for the company. That's why we call it our network. All of us are building this together as a collective whole to bring the world something it's never seen before in not just direct sales, but I don't think it's ever seen a company quite like, not like our network, not with, I've seen savings programs, I've seen things like this, but I've never seen anything with all of these different industries, including a bank coming. Guys, this is exactly where I want to be, and we invite you to just plant your flag here and say, hey, I finally found it after all these years of searching. It's right here in front of you. You've got a gentleman. Thank you for your time tonight, John. 30 plus years experience. He can go anywhere he wants. He chose our network. A lot of these people are choosing our network for very, very many reasons. So John, I want to go ahead and have you share your final thoughts, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
Hey, John, thank you so much. So just a couple of final thoughts here is, you had mentioned, John, I forget how you said it, but, knowing as much as I do, I mean, I'm on the inside of the company, and how do I feel? I feel absolutely overwhelmed. That's how much opportunity is in front of us right now. And the reality of it is that, we as a company, we are not going to overcommit as a company. We have to be as proud of the things that we say no to as we say yes to. There's always going to be opportunity. I've been involved in companies before that chase their tail. They run at 8 or 10 or 12 different things, and nothing ever gets done. And they say, boy, that company had a lot of promise, and I'm not sure what happened. We're not going to fall into that trap. We're not going to overcommit. We're going to do 2 or things really well at one time, get those off the sheet, come back and add another 2 or 3 or 4 things and things that we're going to do. Our goal is to become world-class with that, and we're going to continue to do better, do better, do better, do better. That's what we're going to go do. There's a saying that I have, and it goes like this. a day of effort today is like 30 days of effort a year from now. Now think about that. You're positioning yourself ahead of this curve. You know, you can be that person that I see it, I got it, I see the vision and I see it happening, and I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to go run hard now because I now see all these products and services that are being introduced, and there's this another 5, 6, and 7 of them announcements coming over the next 3 months or so, right? This is amazing. And that doesn't include other things that are going to fall in our hands that we're going to go do, whether it's for the States or for a continent or for a country specific around the globe, or new country openings that you're going to be hearing about. But as you go build this, and imagine, you've heard that term, that hockey stick, when it just arcs and it begins to increase at an increasing rate. And this thing, in spite of you, in spite of me, this thing explodes at a rate, it increases at an increasing rate, right? Somebody once said, oh my gosh, we're in momentum. I was with a company once and we're in momentum. We were doing $5 million a month. And a guy looked at me who I worked with, who was in the early days of a little company called Herbalife when they exploded, doing over $1 billion a year. He said, momentum is when we go from 5 million a month to 80 million a month in 7 months. That's momentum. I've been with a company doing nearly $1 billion in annual sales, and we started very small and we grew it. And those kinds of things take time, and we're going to be there. And then we're going to double it, double it, double it, double it. That's our focus. That's our goal. That's our goal. But in these early stages, you can put your head down and you can build right now, because now is the time to go. I get it. You've been involved. You've kind of been sitting on the sidelines. Prove to me the vision works. You're seeing these additions. You're going to see some really cool enhancements, some more introductions that are going to come into play. I got it. So what happens from now is 5 and 6 months from now, you can be that person out there in the ocean that's got a couple of boats that's hauling a couple of 100 miles a net, or you can be that person who wanted to wait, that's sitting at the end of the pier with a pole in the water. Who's going to catch more fish? You want to have yourself positioned that when this arcs and it goes, that you're part of that arc and you're part of that go. It's a moment in time, and you need to see it. And if you want to sit on the sideline, that's okay too. We want to support you. We want you to do whatever is comfortable for you. And we're here to all get the top of the mountain together. Some of us are just going to climb a higher mountain, right? So there's some action to take. If you want to go take the action, open up that Pandora's box now, open up that network that you have, because now is the time to run hard, to go position yourself, because over the next 6 months, you will never get this next 6 months back again. The products, the services, and additions that you're going to see and how you're paid and what we're doing is never going to come again. This moment in time of being small as we begin to grow big. We're here for this time at right now to be able to do what we need to be able to go do. We're not going to disappoint you. We're not going to let you down. Our heads down. We're making the plan, working the plan. We're executing against the plan. And Trent is holding all of us accountable in our 2-week spurts that we have going on. Every day we talk about it, red, green, yellow, where we ahead, where we're behind, what do we got to be able to do? We committed, find a way to get it done. That's why it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm still working, and I started this morning at 7 a.m. It's for you. There's a little bit of me involved in it, but a lot of it's for you, and it's majority, it's for us. We're a team. I'm excited to be here, John. I so appreciate you inviting me on the call tonight. And I'm here to serve. I'm here for all of you. And I'm looking forward to seeing each one of you around the globe, because when this pandemic ends, we're going to be on the planes. We're going to be traveling the globe, and we're going to be launching this business and building this business. And I do want to say one more thing, that I am so appreciative of Dave Dove, your Executive Vice President of Sales. Is somebody that I lean on. We work well together. I love this guy. He's committed to what we do. He is here just as much for you as I am. Lean on us. We're gonna make this thing work in a very, very significant way. But you know what? We have our hands firmly on the wheel. We know where we're going. We're following the directions that we have, and we're going to get there, and we're going to make you proud, and we're excited you're going to be part of it. John, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
No, awesome. Yeah, and everybody, I want to go ahead and again thank John for his time as well to come out tonight. I had a question come in. Somebody texted me. I'll just address one more thing. We had a couple conversations with countries earlier this week, so you know who you are. And I just don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much with who those countries are. But yes, the goal is to build up a team of 2,500 to 3,000 members in a country to show momentum, to show the company that, yes, we're serious, we're here, because now we know we've got momentum, we've got real interest in that company. We use the products we have, we continue, and plus the additional products coming, we get that base built, and then we can turn around and put them into more of a pre-launch mode and things of that sort. So you show us you want us in your country, and we will definitely do everything we can do to be in your country. And when we mean by being in your country, that's helping you bring local products, helping you bring everything you need for 100% support in that country. So with that, everybody, I want to again thank everybody for their time tonight. Thank you, John, once again, and we will talk to you all next time. Good night.
You got it. Good night. Thank you so much.